Let me bring in now Matt Maley, Chief Market Strategist for trading and financial services firm Tabak and Co. Hi there, and thanks so much for joining us. $96 billion in revenue just for one quarter. It's an eye-watering amount. Does it cement the dominance of Nvidia?
Hi, Sally. Yes, it certainly does. The question is that, is this going to be something where they'll lose some sort of dominance in the future? With them providing the first time ever giving full year guidance, and it being as strong as it is, certainly shows that their dominance isn't going to be tested anytime soon. But at the same time, we do have to be careful about what's going on with the rest of the group, because I just noticed that the SOX semiconductor index is only up about 1.5%, and that even though, as you guys just mentioned, that Taiwan Semiconductor and Broadcom are doing better today, most of the rest of the group isn't doing all that much. So, we start to worry about this, if Nvidia has too much dominance, and what kind of an impact that'll have on other firms.
It is a question how long Nvidia can hold on to its dominance, because some of its largest customers are increasingly designing their own chips. Do you think that one day will actually threaten Nvidia?
It's certainly, I think it will, yes, to answer the question. The question is when, there's this problem, where they're the vendor, they're the financier, they're the investor. Not only that, they're the guarantor of a lot of the debt that's involved in this area. So that's a big concern. Now, they keep talking about, well, they're very complicated and will take a lot of money for these vendors, the hyperscalers, to equal what Nvidia can provide. But they have a lot of money at their hands. They also have a lot of ability to raise more debt because they're AAA or AA rated. So the fact that I think that they'll play catch up a lot faster than Nvidia is saying right now, but we'll have to see.
I want to raise another issue. It's another concern, and that is around potential circular financing. Some investors call Nvidia the central bank of AI because it's supporting so many startups, which are also its customers. Jensen Huang says this is not a problem. We've got to support these startups. They need tons of money to get going. Do you see it as a problem?
Well, again, having lived through the dot-com bubble and the aftermath, I do worry about it. And there certainly are some similarities to what, Cisco was doing at that time. Now, I do believe that Nvidia is in much better condition than Cisco was back then. However, it does raise questions about how much demand do they really have out there? How inflated are these circular programs making the, how much are they inflating these demand numbers? And so it's definitely something that we need to worry about, because they aren't picking up demand from anywhere new. It's still, yes, these hyperscalers keep adding to their raising their demand forecast, but the problem is they're not making any money from it. So at least not making much. So until they get that ROI up, at some point they're going to have to pull back on that demand, and so that does concern me with Nvidia.
All right, thank you so much for chatting to us today. That's Matt Maley, Chief Market Strategist for trading and financial services firm Tabak and Co.